Wow, look at all these people. Hold on, we're gonna ride the slide. Ride the slide. We're gonna ride the train. Hey guys, WheatyWaffle here for part 9 of our City Skylines Let's Play. If you like what you see today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified every time I post new videos. Alright, so right off the bat, you'll notice two things. One, I've changed the lighting of the city and some of the theming, so things just look a little bit different than they did before. I'm still tweaking it, I'm still working on it, so let me know in the comments below if you like this new color scheme, this new LUT that we have on here. If not, we can always revert back, but I'm just trying to mess around and find the right look for our city. And actually, I want to lower. That's like entirely too high. And then the second thing you'll notice that I've done in here is I have gone through and renamed some of our districts. Let's bring up the district view to make it a little bit easier to see. Rename some of our districts based on some suggestions in the comments. So we have Brazilian Square, Bryant Park, Pantanal Heights, Madison Township. This I just changed to Hickory Isle since it's on an island. So if you have any other suggestions for good district names, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and then you might see it here in this video. So what I really want to work on today, before I kind of start looking into anything else and get distracted and then do 10,000 small things, I really want to consider getting some kind of train line in. We're about 21,000 people or just above, and before we get too much larger and too much more compact, I want to make sure we're putting in a train line in advance so that I don't have to go back and redo it later on and delete massive parts of our city. And I think since we have $1 million, we're just going to leave it on pause. I don't want to be getting notifications that we're lacking in different resources and then get distracted. So I want to just kind of focus on what is right at hand. So train stations do make a lot of noise. That's totally fine since this area right here I think is all commercial and office. Yeah. So I have nothing really to worry about here. So let's do... let's get a one-way road. We'll do one-way road with trees. Why don't we come up? I like 7. 7's good. Let's come up 7. We'll bring it over 20. I want to make sure I'm mindful of the distance from that intersection. And then right here, we'll place our first train station for this city. Now, I do want to go and get additional train assets. Like this one looks wonderful, it's beautiful, but we could get some more that fit a little bit better, especially once we start using trains in more densely populated areas and our city grows. We can get ones that are sunken, underground, that just look a little bit nicer and kind of fit the vibe of the area we're in. So we got one there. I know that the next one I want to have, so if you come down this way, you get on the train here, come on down, come over here. I mean, we could put a train station over here somewhere. It seems a little close, but we could put one there and one here. Or we just do one that kind of services this middle area. And actually, there's bus stops here, so I think we do one here in the middle. And let's try to use the roads that we already have built. So we're just going to actually follow these roads here. If I wanted to move one of those stop signs, not stop signs, bus lines, we could move it to here. And now all these people will eventually walk over here. But now we have a bus line that is serving directly into the train, which I think is great. So let's put our next train station right here. And we'll beautify all these up. Oh, I have prop and tree anarchy on. So if you ever are playing this, you have prop and tree anarchy on, and you place something down, and you're like, oh man, I now have trees like literally in the middle of my building. Make sure you turn off prop and tree anarchy, and then using the move it mod, just wiggle the building and the nodes a little bit, and all of those trees will pop off. So I do the same over here? Well, there's no trees here, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll now have a train line that comes down this way, come over here, connect to this area. Then right here is where I want to have the train line maybe cut in half. So it'll go this direction and this direction in the future. So I'm thinking we need to first we need to get rid of all of these power lines. So let's put a power line right here that will connect all of that together. And then we're just going to remove all of those. Now, we need to do, let's do a little land reclamation. Once you move land in City Skylines, the water reacts. I'm just going to bring it straight on over. The water will react, and so since we're moving all this water around, once we unpause, there's a good chance we'll be flooding some things. Okay, we'll bring it over to there, and then we'll kind of close it off. So we're not taking too much from the ocean. I just need enough that I can comfortably put a train station in and not have to have it sitting on the water. Okay, let's do a little bit of smoothing, and actually, let's go ahead and select all of these guys, and let's make these the same height as this one. There we go. Okay, now, I'm going to go ahead, let's actually, just for a brief moment, let's let it run really fast. You'll notice this water's about to do some crazy stuff. So the land where the water was, is now displacing all this water. So we're going to just briefly flood a few things. Since this area is so large in terms of how much water's here, this wave will probably go out and we won't see it come back again. So we just wanted to get this water to get out of the way. Let all this finish flooding and then going back to normal, and then we'll be able to build again. Okay, so now everything has stopped flooding. So I'm feeling like I want to elevate this entire highway. And in doing that, I'll be able to bring like this avenue over and then have some kind of road connection to this area. The more I look at this, the more putting the train station right here seems super enticing. Regardless, I still want to elevate our highway. So let's go ahead, and we're just going to jump into a quick time lapse. I'm going to begin to elevate all of this and get this off the ground, and then we'll kind of see what land we have to work with. So y'all watched that time lapse. I did all this over engineering for this, and I looked back at it, and it wasn't right. It was too much was happening for such a small section of the city. As I thought about it, I mean, this is not going to expand much more because it's so landlocked. So this is what we're working with. We're going to see how this goes. There's going to be some finessing that needs to happen. We're going to need to mess with it a little bit, just to make sure everything works the way I want it to. But, oh, we just unlocked something. Capital City, okay, so we got some ships, we've got some more of the clean eco water treatment plants, which is fantastic, in a harbor. Okay, so we've got some work to do with all of that once we finish our train stations. But what I have kind of ended up with here, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to turn off this traffic light. What I've kind of ended up with here is just a raised like T junction like we had here. This was what we had already. It's just now it's all raised up. And then over here, I was trying to be mindful of just how close this entrance and exit on the highway are. We could try to solve this maybe if I made it a 4-lane, because then people who get off here have to cross over and get onto one of the lanes that isn't the immediate turn-off lane. Right now, this isn't going to be a huge deal because there's no traffic coming from this direction. Once we begin building over here, this could become just very clogged because you're going to have people trying to get off, crossing over this first lane. But then you're going to have people in these lanes trying to cross into this lane to then exit. So we might have to revisit this. My solution would be to, since these roads are so close together, I cannot imagine you would need to exit off of here to then get onto this. You could just use any of these connecting roads in between. So my solution would be to take this exit, bring it under the highway, and bring it up onto the highway somewhere in between the two elevated roads. But we'll deal with all of that if and when we need to. Right now, I guess the biggest concern is going to be this intersection, but with the lights off, we should be fine. People can just stroll right on through. Let's go ahead and build in, let me make sure all of this is kind of back to normal. Let's go ahead and build in our one-way road. So what I am thinking for the train station, I think this has to go, this path, because what did we use here? Did we use this guy? I think we did. We're going to put this road that's going to connect right through. It's a little tight, it's a little close. Let's just make sure it has the correct setup here. So I don't want any lights here at all. And instead, wait, what in the world? There we go. Instead, this is the yielding to this priority road. And then from here, we will place down a train station. Okay, great. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I've now got to connect all of these train stations up. So, now I do want to try to be somewhat realistic with my trains and recognize that, like, can we keep this on the ground and sit it down? That trains don't do a lot of, like, small turns. They can't. So this is going to be a little unrealistic for just a moment while I try to get her out of this area. Let's just anarchy it. So I'm thinking it's going to come right along here like this. Yeah, so it's going to come right along the back of these guys to about here. At which point, it's then going to come up to just above sea level. And then we'll do whatever it recommends. So let's do straight. Let's snap it. Come straight again. Now, this is where things get challenging, because really what I want to do, if we come out this way and we come over, we need to get up to here, which is like just ridiculous. We could... How do we want to do this? Okay, what we could do, this is a little crazy, but we could, instead of having it follow the highway, since at this point we're already kind of going below below the height of the goodness gracious, below the height of the land level anyway, what if we just sunk it down into a tunnel? This is not like super realistic, but it would allow me to get kind of the big sweeping curves that I know a train to maintain a high speed it needs. So we could bring it around like this. And bring it straight on up. Then I do want to, so that's all hidden, which is fine, but I do like to see the train moving. So this part here is going to stay above ground. So I think we'll bring it straight along. want to bring it straight through and then lower the 6 lane underneath it, so you have to go through that road. Do we have any bus stations over here? Or bus stops? No. Okay, so this is gonna go. So then let's bring this. Where am I going here? Nope. Nope. Yep. Okay, so this will go straight on through. Again, we'll lower that appropriately. Now, I think that this is actually going to come... Let's bring it up. Let's curve it here. At which point, let's keep it sticking to the ground. We'll bring it down 8. Send it straight on through. Because we could bring this to here. Do one of these moments, right? Maybe connect and connect like this. So what we're going to do really fast, now that we've done all of this, we want to upgrade the roads. In between into bridges so that the train can then go underneath, which as I'm looking at it now, is that going to be enough space? No, the wires go right through. So let's first move this a little bit closer so the bridge is just a touch smaller. And then let's take both of these and bring them up, at least until the wires are no longer visible. There we go. So the train goes through this and underneath. Here we need to do an asymmetrical road. We'll do exactly the same. We're going to upgrade it. See how these wires here are pushing into the beam. So we'll go ahead and take both sides and raise this up just until the wires are not in the way. Coming along, coming along. Now for this part, what we want to do is I actually want to go and take the train line. We're going to upgrade this portion of the train line to be elevated. And we're going to move this down just a bit. Move this over just a bit. Because then we can take all of these roads and lower them down. Just like that. So then you drive in and you pass underneath. Now is that going to be enough for cars and trucks specifically? No, that truck definitely clipped. Okay, so then let's do just a touch more lowering here in the middle section. Enough so that we're not clipping anything. Okay, great. We're going to smooth all land out once we're done. Now we actually have a train line, so let's go ahead and give it a connection. It's really not making that many people smile, which means that watch us do all of this, and then this train be worth, like, absolutely nothing. So now we're going to see how well that goes. While that is running, I'm going to just throw down a bunch of trees, give it a few minutes to run, and we'll check back on them. Okay. Wow, look at all these people. Hold on. We're gonna ride the slide. Ride the slide. We're gonna ride the train. So I did put some trees in. You'll notice as we're driving through, you'll get to see them. We've got 64 of 240 passengers on this train presently. We're just on our merry way. Go underneath the road. I just tried to fill it with tons of trees so that we'll kind of disperse the noise. We are going to have to fill the areas. Excuse me, we're going to fill the areas on the right side of the train track that's between. Look at all the people waiting. Oh, yes. Okay, look at that. 121 of 240 because we're en route. We're not yet full, which is great. And this is fantastic because what this means is we're now able to connect the people on that island in the middle of the city, Hickory Isle, to the mainland. This particular part here I think is incredibly unrealistic, but it's a video game, and so it doesn't matter. Here we go. We're about to pull up to this station. Look at those dumpsters. Oh my gosh. Alright, now I'll go through. I noticed there was that one. Oh my god. It's nearly full. this might need additional passengers. Or additional cars on this line. Look at all the people just coming on over. Oh, great, great. Alright, and the last thing we're going to do, this entire part is very focused on transportation. The last thing I want to do is just give this area here a bus line. It doesn't currently have one. So what I want to do, I definitely want one that's going to come to the front of the train station. And then I think this will come over, share a stop with the Ashley Darby shuttle. Maybe kind of mirror the stop that's on this yellow line. Mirror the yellow line. I actually will bring in one more. I know that they're very close together, the yellow and this new blue one we're building, but I think that that will be a good thing, since then we'll be able to get the most people access to public transit. Send one over here. We'll send it into here. Maybe bring it back down, and then it can connect on up. Now the reverse line that we're going to do is going to be a little bit simpler, just because there's no need for it to stop at the train station, since that's a one-way only. So we'll bring it around, come this way, share a stop there, and then we're just going to skip this entirely, and it's going to come and connect back up. So it might even do one more extra stop on the avenue. So now we've got better bus lines connecting everything. I cannot get over the number of people who use this train. How many people were there last week? 208, 293. Oh, it's so great. And we've got, you can see the people are walking over this way to get to this bus stop, which means that once they let off here, they can jump on the bus. Since the bus share stops with other bus lines, go from that bus and hopefully reach every part of the city through public transit, which is just going to cut down on our cars and our traffic, which we're resting at 78%. What's our biggest culprit? We've got a little bit of an issue here. This area here we know is a big problem, as well as this area here. Two things we got to work on. And like some areas are red, like this is red, but it's red because there's a traffic light here. When that light empties, it's not really that bad. Maybe we'll turn the traffic lights off and just risk it. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this part. Leave some comments below about how I can maybe improve on this train station, and as always, give me some more district name suggestions. Between this part and next part, I'm going to go through and just rename all of our transit, since I just realized with that bus station that none of it matches our new district names. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next week.